What you're about to listen to is a Bry-Fy production. Comic book reviews. Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Bry-Fy podcast. I'm your host, Bry-Fy, your entertainment guy. I don't know, I think limiting myself to comics is just a little too much. Comics guy. Pokemon guy. Trading card guy. Whatever you want to call it, guy. But welcome back to the Bry-Fy podcast. I'm your host, and I am excited to be here, to be back. It's second episode of the new year, and I know little wait. It's a little wait in the week. It's a little late in the week, but hey, late episode better than no episode, right? Right. Anyway, this week got a few things for you in the Nifty Nerd News. We'll talk a little bit on the back end of some type of content that I have been digesting here recently, and then we'll be done for the rest of your day. So, or the rest of your weekend, whenever you're enjoying this episode. Hopefully, you're enjoying it as soon as I posted it, even though it's late. Anyway, with that being said, let's get into the Nifty Nerd News. All right, guys, up first in the Nifty Nerd News, it looks like the Fantastic Four movie has been pushed back to shooting in Q3 of this year. But the big scoop about all this is that we've pretty much all but confirmed that Pedro Pascal is going to be the new Mr. Fantastic. Through some interviews, and I'm looking on the insider.com, it looks like Pedro had talked about having to back out of another movie that he was scheduled to do. I can't remember who was supposed to be in it, but because of that, it was going to be a movie called Weapons, Zach Krieger's Weapons, due to the schedule. And essentially, it's pretty much because, oh, never mind. I'm sorry. Fantastic Four is going to be shooting in April, not the third quarter. I don't know why I was thinking Q3. But it's going to be filming in April, which was the same time that Weapons was going to be filming, and he had to drop out of Weapons. So basically everyone's kind of pointing that this is confirmation that he's going to be the new Mr. Fantastic, and I think he might do a pretty damn good job as Reed Richards. I low-key really love Pedro Pascal. Not only just, like, I fell in love with him with the way he does interviews and him outside of acting. Well, I mean, I guess interviews and stuff is a part of acting, but like outside of his work of acting, I've really fallen in love with him as a character or as a person, and just he's a character, like he's funny and silly, and I really like that about him. And he's made me laugh on many an interview, and just being him, like it's really funny. And so I've really kind of gotten into the Pedro Pascal love that everyone else seems to have already been into. And so I don't know. I'm excited to see what could happen. I don't know who any of the other characters that they plan on using for the rest of the Fantastic Four family, but it'll be interesting to see, man. And some people thought they were going to go younger with the new Fantastic Four, or like our new Reed Richards. And I think Pedro is definitely in his 40s, if not his late 30s. So it'd be interesting to see what they do from here. Is he going to be like the new Tony Stark going forward? Is he going to be like, the binding glue for the Marvel universe? Because that's kind of what it feels like in the movies currently, is there's no binding glue. It's like they're trying to force a square peg in a round hole right now. And it kind of hurts. But to be fair, I haven't watched any of the newer Marvel stuff. I know Echo just dropped on Disney Plus. The Marvels is now available for digital download. So not on Disney Plus, but you can purchase it or rent it digitally now. I still might hold off until it's ready for Disney Plus because, hey, if I'm going to pay for the service, I'm going to get my money's worth, right? So I'm not going to give another company extra money just so I can wait for it to become, instead, just wait for it to be free. That's my motto. And stores hate me. Anyway, since we're on the topic of Marvel, Tatiana Maslany in a interview recently was kind of joking, but it got people really disappointed and I guess kind of upset. But she said there was no plans currently for a She-Hulk season 2, which I'm not gonna lie. When I first heard this news, I was kind of upset too. I really like the She-Hulk series. I think it was really funny, and Tatiana, her character of Jennifer and the way that she acted and her chemistry with all the other characters, like her supporting female cast and also the male cast that they had in there, and then having what's his name, Daredevil, guy who plays Matt Murdock. I can't remember his name. So charming, and their chemistry was so amazing. And having Mark Ruffalo in there as Hulk for a few episodes and getting to see him interact with her and their chemistry was a lot of fun. So I definitely want She-Hulk in more episodes. I want to see, or in some form of capacity. If we're not going to get a new season, I want to see her in a different capacity because I think she was great. I loved her acting. I love her character. I love the fourth wall breaking with her. And it sucks that there were some people that didn't, because I wonder if they just didn't. I think people have certain expectations for a show that's going to have a superhero in it. And I think they let those expectations ruin what the show really was. And it was a comedy that had a character who was a superhero or became a superhero in it. And I think it was really good and really funny. And I really enjoyed it. And it's sad that some people didn't. But you know what? Opinions, right? I mean, we're all going to have different ones. But that news being said, Disney has also recently come out and said, whoa, pump the brakes. No one ever said we weren't getting a season 2, but then they never confirmed that we were getting a season 2. So I don't know. I guess they're just trying, like Disney and Marvel do. They're trying to just leave the door open. Like, we're not going to close any doors here because there's potential money. And, we want our fucking money. The mouse has got to have the house, if you know what I mean. Moving on. Since we're talking about humor and superheroes, so the new Superman Legacy movie or series, I'm not sure what, has been reported. It's gonna have a bit of humor to it. And honestly, with the Superman character, from what I've known and from what I've heard, writers who have done Superman comic books and stuff have, like, Superman has a bit of that one innocent charm, but a bit of humor to him because, he's kind of like the ultimate superhero, so he's super overpowered and everything. He's hella OP, and to me, yeah, if I was like all encompassing Superman and able to just deflect bullets, sleep, build, all that kind of stuff, I would probably have a bit of humor to me. And I think it also comes with that bit of innocence because he is kind of like not a man out of time. Well, I guess he kind of is too, but like he's out of place, and everything he is coming across, it's like for the first time in so to speak, as he's learning to become Superman and stuff. So, and I feel like with the Zack Snyder stuff and the darker, grittier DC universe that they had, you didn't really have a room for a lighthearted Superman because it just didn't work well with everything else in the universe. And I feel like that's why Shazam still felt kind of weird watching. Even Aquaman with its humor still feels a little weird. I think Suicide Squad was able to do it right because it was still dark humor and gritty, so it kind of felt right with Suicide Squad. But I feel like what they were building with the DC entertainment universe just didn't have the room or the place for that fun. Like, I think the TV shows did it better with the fun and enjoyment and the brighter colors of it all. It didn't have the Snyder hue to everything. And so I don't know. I'm excited to see the new direction that they have going with DC, and hearing this news about Superman being a little more lighthearted, a little more humorous, or not even just little, more humorous, more lighthearted, has me excited, has me looking forward to what could be for the DC. And I think now is the perfect time to capitalize on that because Marvel's kind of not fallen off, but it's definitely people are kind of getting tired of Marvel and kind of getting not sick of it, but turned off to Marvel. And so this is DC's chance to, you know, kick their legs out from under them and take everyone's audience back. And you got James Gunn, who arguably has made some of the best Marvel stuff, like Marvel movies to date. And so capitalize on that, right? Speaking of just superhero things and trying to capitalize, Channing Tatum, sorry, has revealed that, hey, the Max movie that they were still planning like 20 years ago, I don't know how long ago, is still in the works, and he's still on paper to play the Max, which is very interesting because the only thing I know of the Max is he's like this giant, he's basically Purple Hulk, but has like the weirdest fucking teeth I've ever seen. It's like super overgrown smile, and that's really all I know about the Max. But what's funny, or I don't know if I'd call it funny, but what's been kind of neat is I didn't realize that Channing Tatum really connected with this character. And in fact, in his Instagram post, I'll even read it for you. This is what he had to say about the Max and everything. He says, this is from Channing Tatum. "Oh my God, I'm so excited for this. I can't even explain. The Max. This is a childhood love of mine. The true brilliant genius the truly brilliant genius creation of Sam Keith. When I was grounded and wasn't allowed to watch TV, this was the cartoon on MTV's Oddities I would risk it all for. Sneak out of bed and put it on and pray I didn't get caught. Even now, after all this time, it feels somehow still ahead of its time. The characters in this, the Max, Julie Winters, and Mr. Gone, taught me things about life. Seeded complex ideas in my young mind that had a profound effect on how I view the world and the roles we play, that I only intellectually understood way later. I can't wait to bring this to life and try to bring it to generations that missed it." That sounds like a guy, and now no longer he's talking, it's me talking, but that honestly sounds like a guy who really connects with it. But like, what's funny, Channing Tatum, when he talks about roles and stuff like that, he's in it, man. Like when he was talking about being Gambit, he was really excited about it, really into it. Like it's funny because I've never really known much about Channing Tatum except like he was like a love interest in some Hallmarkish style movies, and he was also like being marketed as like the next action hero in some sense, and then he played a gimp and This Is the End. And then I don't know what happened to him after a while. Maybe that had something to do with it, but he seems like a genuinely cool guy and pretty self-aware, especially if he was playing a gimp in a movie. Like you gotta really be okay with yourself to do that. So I don't know, man. Like I might look into the Max. It's only like 50 something issues. I know it's less than 60. I'm sure they've done like different runs and stuff, but the original run I think is anywhere between 50 to 56 issues. I can't remember what the exact number is, but it's got me intrigued. It's got me interested. So I might be checking that out. With all that being said, though, that's pretty much all that I have for the nifty nerd news this week. Anything that I wanted to talk about that I thought you guys might be interested in. But let's move on to what I've been consuming here recently. All right, guys, thanks for sticking around for the final part of the podcast. Really, the big thing that I've been digesting, consuming pop culture wise or just nerd wise is anime. I think my Pokemon card addiction has been held in check. I've finally like slowed down on it. I say that after I'm looking at a new pack of Pokemon stuff that I bought today, but like you can kind of hear it. I got some 151 tens. I kind of want to collect all the tens. There's 10 different versions of the Pokemon tins, and you know what I mean by tens is the metal, and inside is 2 booster packs, and it comes with like a coin, which is pretty cool. And I really like the artwork on the front of the tins, so excited to collect those. And I think I have these. This is 6 now, so I only need 4 more, and I'll have the whole collection. And so I might do that. And then I bought a box because I'm like, what do you call it? Basic bitch. And I love Pikachu. And I love Pikachu promo cards. And I found a Shining Fates Pikachu box that has an oversized Pikachu promo, but then has a normal like Pikachu V promo card. So I'm excited. And it was only $18. So yay for that. But so yes, I did buy some more Pokemon stuff, but I've been really holding back. But it's like I told my wife, like I have my big problem is not that I want to buy them all the time. It's just I want to see what there is. And so like I constantly want to go to Walmart to look at the cards, not necessarily to buy the cards. I just really want to look at them. And so like it's just a really insane. Oh wait, one of my friends, Brian, who I trade Pokemon cards with and baseball stuff. Oh my God, he pulled. So he's been getting into football. So Panini Prism CJ Stroud rookie card. That's fucking sweet. I'm gonna tell him, oh my God, that's fucking sweet. Fucking sweet. And CJ Stroud, if you guys don't know, is the rookie quarterback for the Houston Texans, and he's been having a pretty damn good year this year. Texans are in the playoffs. I think they play the Baltimore Ravens this weekend, and if they win against Baltimore and then they go to the AFC Championship game after that, I mean, his stock and like his cards and stuff are only going to be even more pricier. So, like, as a card collector, that's really fucking cool. It looks like it's just a basic chrome card, so it might not be worth all that much. I don't know. I'd have to look it up. But because it's CJ Stroud and it's his rookie card, yeah, it could have some pretty good value behind it. It's tough, man. It's tough to see. I think currently it probably has some decent value, but if he keeps improving, that value will only increase. But if, he just drastically has a suck fest for the next 3 or 4, like his career, then that card's probably worthless, which sucks. Like, but that's how cards work. That's like how Pokemon works and stuff like that. Well, I guess popularity, quarterback popularity and Pokemon popularity, kind of the same thing, man. So sports cards, Pokemon cards, or any kind of trading card, it's based on popularity. Let's face it. But back to anime. That's what I was originally talking about. But yeah, so I've definitely been watching a bunch of anime. Casey's shown me a bunch as well. And a lot of stories that I was reading that were manga, webtoons, or manhwa, which is a like Korean manga, are getting anime adaptations, which is really fantastic. One of those being Solo Leveling, which is now on Crunchyroll. I think it's like 2 or 3 episodes in at this time. And really fantastic story. It's definitely still like, main character becomes OP. But I really like the world that it's set in because it's a modern setup. It's not like stuck in a fantasy world type situation. I mean, it is a fantasy world because, the people have fantasy elements to them, but it's set in like modern day Earth, North Korea. I guess branching it out to Earth kind of spoils like the scope of this story, but that's how big it gets. Different countries have their own set of superhero. I guess you would call them superheroes at this point, but I forget what they're called. Like hunters is what they're called, and it's a very interesting story, and it definitely goes to places where a lot of these stories don't go normally. And so I'm really excited because Casey's been really into it. She actually completed the manhwa, manga, whatever you want to call it, is finished, and she like completed it in like 4 days. Not even, I think it was like 2.5. And like she read through it and finished it and really loved it. And now we're both watching the anime as it comes out. But one of my favorite ones this season it started last season, but it's been coming out and I'm still rewatching it or watching it for the first time, but it's been out for a while, is called Frieren. I think there's more to it, but it's a story, and I think I've talked about it on the podcast before, but it's still like hands down one of my favorite anime to watch right now, and I love reading the manga. But it's the story of an elf named Frieren who was a part of the Heroes Party, and this is kind of like the story of what happens next. Like what happens to someone who's going to outlive or who does, not just going to, who does outlive your friends and your original party. And so it's a really interesting story. It takes place about 80 years after they defeat the Demon Lord. And, everyone's gotten to live a full life. And now it's Frieren trying to basically not come to terms with, but try to find a meaningful life because with her new party, because she missed that with her first party in a way. Like, she didn't really realize what it meant to be human and have feelings and care for people until after she lost her party, her original party. And it wasn't, and like I said, she didn't lose that party because they failed and died. They succeeded, but they grew old and passed away. And so it's a very beautiful story. It's very much set up like a slice of life type anime, but there are some magical battles and elements to it that are really fun and really endearing in a way. Like, it's just one of my favorite stories. One, I'm a sucker for slice of life. I'm a sucker for romance. And this is like almost like ASMR the anime in a way, because there's a lot of calming voices and calming speech and just the way they interact, even with the action that's involved with it. Like, no one's like super over the top crazy. Like, you don't have people in the background like like they're not doing One Piece laughs the whole episode or at all throughout the anime. And it's very nice, man. It's just such a nice and smooth story. It's called Free. Man, I'm gonna look it up what the actual title is. I just call it Frieren, but go to Crunchyroll because like, it's not like I have this smart. Frieren Beyond Journey's End. That's what it's called, and it's FRIEREN colon Beyond Journey's End. And like I said, it's such a beautiful, wonderful anime. Animation's pretty damn good on it, and I just really enjoy the characters, and I've really been enjoying the storyline and just their interactions with each other. It's a whole bunch of fun. Anyway, that's it for this week, guys. Hopefully, you enjoyed listening to me. Oh, as far as rating goes for the Frieren, if I haven't rated already, is a super positive charge from me. I think you need to check it out. I think everyone should watch this because I think there's something there for everyone to enjoy. With that being said, though, that's it for this week, guys. Thank you for sticking around and listening to the podcast. Hopefully you enjoy your weekend or whatever you have going on today and tomorrow and the next few days, because I don't know when you're actually listening to this, but hopefully you're listening to this as soon as it came out. I don't have anything else to say. So we'll talk to you guys later. Bry-Fy out.